really got into coaching with my kids in youth soccer. Went into some high school stuff, Olympic development and club, and then got a break when my daughter actually was playing at Dayton, and I would come up and watch training, and the head coach invited me to stick around and help out a little bit if I was going to hang around. So, you know, it's been a real kind of a climb from, you know, the lowest levels to this level. First of all, you have to have quality individuals involved in the program, I think, from certainly with your players. You have to have talented players, but they also have to be committed. They have to be really willing to do all the proper things to be a good team, and that includes being the best player that you can be, right up to your staff. And I think, importantly, that maybe some people miss is how committed your department is, your athletic department in your school, to allowing you to have a good team. So, you know, there's a ton of things that go into it, but it really comes down to the people involved in my mind, and that's how you really get things done, is with good people. Building a team is part of building a program, and really a program is what you're looking for. So you want to sustain any success that you've had and build on it with a given team in a given year. That's what we've tried to do, is to continue to have a great program by having good teams every year, and not just one good year and then fall off and go. And again, I think really the people involved. You have to put all the pieces together. You have to have people who fit your style of play. You have to have young ladies involved in the program who are committed to success in everything that they do. And really, I think as far as a given year and a team is best utilizing the players that you have, and you know, that may mean that in a given year someone is playing midfield one year and they may be in the back the next year, and you know, utilizing every year is a different group of players, utilizing them in the proper spots, and then preparing properly to go and play each match, and that's what makes a good team. Everybody has to at least, I think, strive to be as good as they can possibly be, and then, you know, shoot for the stars, shoot for as high as you can go. So you know, a championship team to me is one that performs at their best levels, and if that's you know, being undefeated for the year, then be undefeated for the year. Having players who are committed, having players who are willing to be great teammates and do what it takes to get all the things done on the field, off the field, you know, meeting goals, setting specific goals for yourself as a player and as a team, and then not being willing to accept anything less than that. Those are all key ingredients to being a championship team, and what goes into it. You know, over the years, one of the things that we've really kind of stressed, and when we're out looking at prospective recruits, is the competitiveness level that we see. Motivation is hard to teach. You can put a player in a situation to where they may be a little more competitive, a little bit more motivated, but I think it's one of those intrinsic things that comes from the time they're really little. Absolutely. You come in kind of young and dumb, so to speak. You really don't know what to expect, and I think coming into a college atmosphere is different from anything else that you've been involved in prior, and you have to, I think, really continue to grow as a coach in your maturity level and how you go about things. So I'm absolutely certain that I've continued to grow, and I hope I continue to grow every year, every month, every time I step out. I think a coach does have to have some philosophy going in. I mean, you can't just go out and wing it every day. You have to have a plan. You have to set that in motion, and it doesn't mean that you can't change it, but you have to have some plan of attack, daily, weekly, yearly. And that's an overall look at how you want to run your program, how you want to run your team. I would say that my philosophy has always been to provide opportunities for our young ladies, for our student athletes to be as good as they can possibly be, whether that's in the classroom, whether it's on the field, and certainly to be good citizens. Most of the players we brought into this program bring some high level of competitiveness, and that's purposeful. That's something we look for when we're out watching them in their club and high school matches. It's something that I think is essential to being a great team is a high level of competitiveness. You know, depending on the situations in training, we try to make every training a competitive situation. And being in that situation, training at a high level with other competitive players certainly enhances anyone who's out there and helps make them competitive. Well, I would hope so. Otherwise, losing is even worse than I think it is. So, you know, there's not a whole lot to learn from losses other than how to do things better. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what, our competitor was better and deserved to win. Sometimes you walk out of there and say, you know what, we should have won that match if we'd have done this, this, or this. Well, I think goal setting is huge. It's something we do at the beginning, you know, first day or two of every season is to sit down and look at team goals. We ask our players to make individual goals, and those goals are not necessarily built around wins and losses, but really are more about improving as a player, about doing your role to the best of your ability and continuing to grow. And I think that's how it has to be. Wins and losses are wins come if you do things properly. Losses come for a number of reasons. It could be your opponent was just flat better on that given day. It could be the bounce of a ball. It could be a referee's decision. It could be any number of things. So that's too hard to control. But what you can control is effort related. It can be your growth as a player. It can be something extremely simple. Did I strike a free kick and put it in the right place? So I mean, there's just so many things that if you really put down solid goals and then work to attain them, to get better individually, to get better as a team, then certainly it's got to be a plus. And that's true with coaches as well. I want to see players succeed. I care about that 26th, 27th player on the team as much as I do the top performer. And I really think that as a coach, you're a manager first and foremost. You take your program and you set high goals, and you do it with character, and that's what we've tried to do over time. And hopefully, when I walk away from coaching, I hope I get to walk away from it sometime rather than get carried away from it. But when I leave the coaching profession at whatever point in time, what I want to be able to do is look back and say I did the best I possibly could do for every young lady that was in our program. Well, it's a lot easier to coach elite players. Youth players, there's so much teaching involved within the game itself, and technical abilities. How do I do that? How do I perform all the skills needed to be a good player? And then you build in the tactical part of that as well. So it's a continual growth pattern. When you have elite players, most of the time they come with that technical background already. Tactically, they continue to grow, and then you add all the things that are beyond that, the mental part of the game, how to approach game, how to approach training. It's something that I'm not going to say it's easy to coach elite players, because they have their own challenges in making a group of great players willing to be a team is a real trick when you're coaching at the higher levels. So it's fun. It's great. I enjoy both. So having the ability to occasionally go back and do some training with youth players, 5 and 6 year olds even, is brilliant. But I gotta say, it's tough. It's really difficult when you've had the ability to coach high level players, and just really kind of tweak the game rather than to try to build it from the ground